Things aren't looking good for the Midnight Mission, and one member isn't going to make it out of this book. We are on to Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, issue number 3, and things are getting real dire for Moon Knight and his Midnight Mission. We open up with Carver, Achilles Fairchild's right-hand woman, and she is overseeing the Midnight Mission and the SWAT team that's about to bust in. If you remember, Achilles Fairchild, through his use of the glitter drug, has a detective in his pocket, and she and SWAT are about to bust down the doors to the Midnight Mission. For those who don't know or aren't familiar, the Midnight Mission itself is actually a sentient house, an old sentient house, who Moon Knight befriended towards the beginning of the Moon Knight run. I should use befriended in air quotes, but they understand each other. Either way, the mission itself is the barrier to which SWAT is going to really have a hard time with. Except Carver has this magic sword with a complicated past, including dealings with Thor, Asgard, and the Nine Realms back when they were in Broxton, Oklahoma. And whatever magic is inside of this sword actually ends up killing the Midnight Mission. Meanwhile, Mark is explaining to Tigra that Hank Pym is alive. Hank Pym, her ex-love interest, and I believe her baby's father. But there's little time for that because Mark immediately feels when something's wrong with the mission because he can't feel the mission like he used to. He just feels a wall, and he knows that the mission is dead somehow. And immediately, here comes NYPD. There she goes. I can't stand her ever since she called my group a cult, but I'm not the only one, and Mark almost gets his literal pound of flesh until Hunter's Moon, 8-Ball, and Reese shows up, and Mark thinks better of it. He is a better man than me. But Mark and the mission still have to get out of there. The Midnight Mission, or what's left of it, is now on the run. But Mark and everyone else has been living out of and working out of the Midnight Mission. So where do they go? This underground base that Mark took over after dispatching a villain in the beginning of the Warren Ellis run. And it's a good thing that they are underground because, thanks to Fairchild and his dirty detective, Mark Spector and his group are again being called a cult out in public. And they are being blamed for manufacturing and distributing the drug called glitter. Either way, our group is now a group of fugitives.